Well, right, it's now 7 PM. We'll be calling the Public Works and Economics Committee to order. Members are Mr. Rippeth, Mrs. Ramos is excused, so that means alternate Mr. Simlick will be voting member this evening. We got two items to discuss tonight. The first one is proposed ordinance 30, 2025, and I was gonna ask the law director if that needs to be 26. I don't know, you know, if we're gonna have to switch it up, but that's not a really other than a typo type thing, maybe. Because it originated last year is why it's proposed ordinance 30. And that's regards to ODOT paving, and I'm gonna turn that over to the service director to speak on.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Did everybody receive the, map and then the breakdown of
Yeah.
the, where they'll be paving at?
About a month ago, everybody should
Yeah,
have that.
I will, run over that though. So, at Beaver Avenue, they'll run Beaver Avenue, east out 39 towards Carrollton, right where they ended up this past year. So that'll get paved, and then they'll pick up there and go all the way down to, 5 Points or Tuscarawas Avenue, 7th Street there. And then also, from High on 4th Street, all the way to Dover's Corporation Limit, and then there's a little piece there, when you come off the ramp on, off 250 there. So they'll come off of that piece, right there also and do it. It's a much larger project. They will continue to do the rest of, what went in our allotment this year for the past year, for the trail, through, you know, the bike trail. So they're gonna go on out too, but that's nothing on ours, that's outside the city. So you'll see all that getting done too, over the bridge, all the way to Reeser Avenue. So there's other things that they're doing, but the part that we're gonna be, have to handle would be, those sections that I talked about. And there's still a, 80-20 match on that. And that'll be in 2027. They wanted to do it this year, and I was like, there's just no way. That's why they had already did their parts, but I didn't see no way that we could. I saw the money for the, state highway, and that just wasn't gonna be there, and then the perm tax, so, hold off till 2070. They wanted to do it this year, so.
Mr. Service Director,
Yeah.
you don't know what the total cost of the project, the?
Yeah, it says in the, it should say in the resolution.
Oh, I got it right there, okay.
I think it was 452, I wanna say. Yeah,
So then,
that's right.
so basically 45,000 cities, or?
No, that's what we have, that's our
Oh,
part.
that's our part.
Yeah.
But that, you're talking about a lot of paving for that part.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
okay. Any questions for the service director on this?
I just for clarity, the match is 452, 20% is the 452,000?
Yes.
Yeah, the number I was looking at was like 3.3. Does that sound right? 3.3 million for the whole thing?
Yeah. Pretty good deal.
When they come through, you gotta remember, you gotta end up, anything that's not, got your ADA ramps on any corners, that has to all be redone. They can't just, they just don't do, just a mill and fill like we usually do in our city paving. So they'll come in and do concrete work first, they'll do all the corners, get all those up to ADA compliant. So any road that's not an ADA compliant gets the ramps and the placards in the center of those, and then they just move on out through. So I've got a feeling they'll be doing quite a bit of that. I mean, there is quite a bit of that in the plans. So that's what adds to it also.
I was reading in there that number, of course, is just an estimate, and then once
Right.
2027 comes, then, you know, depending on how
Now,
materials change.
Paul did tell me he has an inflation factor in that
Okay,
from ODOT, so he's allowing for some inflation.
And they're kind of like, just like the federal aviation and all that, they, worst case scenario estimate.
Yeah.
You know, so it's
Yeah.
not-
Yeah, but I can tell you with, on the last small cities paving, we ended up on the good side of 96,000.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's that chance too. It isn't just like, oh my gosh, worst case scenario, they're going over this. There's also the chance that.
More than likely it'll go under.
We went, like I said, we have, it was 96 or 93,000 that was under in that job, so. It isn't just like, oh, no, it's gonna get blown out of the water, it's gonna be this absorbent amount of money more. It's always got that chance to, like, say, come under budget too,
Okay,
especially when you put that inflationary, proposal together.
sure.
What
I was
were our-
curious.
I have a question. What were our current totals in the, you said the 205 and the 206 fund?
205, I'm going off memory. I wanna say, well, right now I know in the budget, there's 100,000 in the one, and I would guess you would know more than I would, and then 206 has 200K in it budgeted.
Is
And
that
then-
how much revenue we have, or is that how much cash we have right now?
Yeah,
Or is that budget?
that's what it has, that's what I took it as, was cash. You would know better than I would, I
I
guess.
have
Yeah,
the
they're
statement of
reporting
cash
it.
right here
Do you have-
for end of December.
What's the cash?
205, the ending balance was 215,000, and 206 is 181,000.
There you go, yeah,
Those were the ending balances for
And we'll be saving
25.
all of that for this project in 2027?
correct.
Any other questions? Yes.
Ron, what was the, I'm just trying to have a number to compare it to, so that number is 450 something was our cost. Like, what do we typically spend a year out of pocket on paving?
That's usually right where he's usually at,
Okay, so that would essentially be like 1 year.
one whole year of
That would be
paving.
one year.
Correct.
Okay.
But you gotta remember, in the state highway, you can't put that into Aspen Lane. You can't put that in Third Street Northwest. You can't put that.
Oh, yeah, because it's gotta be
Has to
state.
be
Yeah,
state
yeah,
route.
yeah, so when I say that, that's gonna get flushed out. It's
Yeah.
just gonna get flushed out. It's no harm until you need
Sure.
it again. So when that money never went towards, like I said, Minnick Avenue. You know what I'm saying? Has to be state routes,
It's all the bigger projects
Okay.
like that.
Yeah, only state routes.
I was just trying to have like something to compare.
Yeah, that is probably a typical number
Okay,
as far as a total of what we typically do a year,
okay,
you know what I mean?
okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
but, and like, again, remember that we're just doing a mill and fill, they're coming in and they gotta get all the corners back
Yeah,
up to
there's a lot
ADA
more.
compliant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay, any other questions? Seeing no other questions, is there any action to be taken on proposed, oh, I do have one for the law director before we move on. Will this be changed into proposed ordinance 2/2026, or will we still be going?
No, the ordinance is still good. It'll just say that it was signed in 2026. and passed in
Instead of,
2026.
there'll be proposed ordinance 30/2025.
Right. The way that it's numbered now is fine.
Okay,
That doesn't affect anything.
I didn't know how that worked yet.
Yeah,
Okay,
That doesn't affect anything.
thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we put that on tonight's agenda for first reading.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Simmons? All right, and we'll take a vote. Mr. Ribbitt?
Yes.
Mr. Simmons?
Yes.
And I'll vote yes also. Okay, the next item to discuss is proposed ordinance 1/2026, and that involves the material bids. And Ronnie will get to speak on this one also.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm gonna steal one of, Mr. Rippus' lines, this is general housekeeping. Something we do every year, just part of the process we gotta go through. The numbers we have now are good until the end of March. Or that's how we make the folks that put our bids in now, put our bids in April, we make them carry them for that whole year, March 30. So we will, again, just a general housekeeping thing, so we go out and bid. We always bid our pipe, meters, hydrants, sewer does the polymer. Naturally, that also lets us get into the ODOT purchase agreement with them for the salt, which we always get a better price with them. It also gets salt at the water department that we soften with. So just really all of our material, a lot of our big item materials, big dollar materials.
Any questions for the service director on this issue?
I have questions.
Sure.
Are you able to say what you're seeing in comparison to last year?
You
for
know,
Materials, or is that might be a loaded question?
No, from talking to a couple other municipalities, they went through this, and they has said it has calmed down. You know, like I said before, when we had to raise the rate, you saw it was almost 50% in the last time since we had raised anything. But they're seeing anywhere, I was talking to Joe the other day, he's at, like, he only saw his stuff come in at about, anywhere from 6 to about a 12, which still isn't great, but I've seen it one year, when,
30.
you know, especially around the COVID time,
Yeah.
it got really bad, Brian.
Sure.
So, I mean, I'd be
100.
happy with a 6. And I hope we get
Percent,
it.
is that?
Yeah, believe it or not, that's, what you gotta-
Increase 6, okay,
yeah, yeah.
okay,
It's not gonna go down. You know, it's definitely not gonna go down.
sure, okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else, questions?
I would move that we also put 2026, ordinance 2026 on tonight's agenda for a first reading.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Simler? And we'll take a vote. Mr. Ribbit?
Yes.
Mr. Sidley?
Yes.
And I'll vote yes also. All right, is there anything else to come before committee? Seeing none, I move for adjournment.
I would move that we adjourn.
Thank you, Mr. Ribbit, at 7:11.
Okay.
Just you and Brian, so you can operate.
The Special Contact Committee, Mr. Walker can't be here tonight, Mrs. Ramos is not here tonight. Brian, Mr. Sears is the alternate. And so it's he and I under this heavy issue. The request is for Beers and Birdies LLC for a D1 license, liquor license on West Side Avenue. And that we decided is beer, right?
Yes.
The question is, do we want a hearing or not? Do we request a hearing for that or not? Just to say no is to say I'm in favor of it, right? So, Mr. Sears, do you have any comments on this?
No, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't approve this.
And I agree. So what do we refer this to full council now?
Well, we'll do a voice vote when you give the report for the special contact committee
Yeah,
meeting, we'll do a voice vote.
okay. So we don't have, our committee doesn't have to do anything. Okay. Anything else for this committee? Does anybody want to vote to adjourn the meeting?
I will make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
So moved.
Who needs
I think
one?
that was my first one.
Right, it is 7:30, this meeting of New Philadelphia City Council will now come to order. Would they please rise for the invocation and pledge of allegiance? Mr. Ribbeth.
Thank you, Mr. President. Would you please join me in prayer? Heavenly Father, we humbly thank you for this opportunity to serve the fine city of New Philadelphia. We ask that you bless this body tonight with wisdom and discernment as we go about the business of the city. We face the challenges that are ahead of us and talk about the opportunities that lie before us. Father, we thank you for all of those who serve this city so well, especially our service workers who have kept our streets clear as we've had some horrible weather, our first responders who have worked tirelessly through that, our water folks who keep the water running even in these bitter cold temperatures, Lord. We just thank you, and we ask that you would put a hedge of protection around each of them as they do their duties here in the city, and help them know, Lord, that we appreciate them all so much. Father, we just ask that you keep our residents under your wing. It's very cold. This is a unique winter for us, and for those who are struggling to stay warm and to get about, we just pray your blessing upon them, Lord, and your protection. Father, may all we do here tonight bring honor and glory to your name. And in the name of your Son, Jesus, we ask this. Amen.
Amen. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I'd like to welcome right here to our meeting, council meeting tonight. Appreciate everybody kind of changed the schedule and we were to meet on Thursday instead of Monday. So we'll start with usual roll call.
Mr. Crimebell.
Here.
Mr. Lonzer.
Here.
Mrs. Ramos. Mr. Rippett.
Present.
Mr. Sears.
Here.
Mr. Simmelink.
Here.
Mr. Walker.
All right, let it be known that Mrs. Bromos, Mr. Walker are excused from our meeting tonight. All right, everybody's had a chance to review our agenda for tonight. Are there any additions to the agenda? Mr. Lanzer.
Yes, Mr. President, I ask that we can add proposed ordinance 1, 2026, and proposed ordinance 30, 2026 to tonight's agenda.
30, 2025. All right, do I have a second?
I would second that.
All right, thank you, Mr. Ribbeth. In discussion of administration, council, roll call.
Mr. Lonzer.
Yes.
Mr. Rippett.
Yes.
Mr. Crimebell.
Yes.
Mr. Sears.
Yes.
Mr. Simmelink.
Yes.
All right, any other additions?
Yes, Mr. President.
Yes, Mr.
I would ask that we include tonight proposed resolution 1, 2026, and proposed resolution 2, 2026 to tonight's agenda for a first reading.
Is there a second to that?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Mr. Cranbill. In discussion by administration, council, roll call.
Mr. Rippett.
Yes.
Mr. Crimebell.
Yes.
Mr. Lonzer.
Yes.
Mr. Sears.
Yes.
Mr. Simmelink.
Yes.
Or any other additions? Hearing none, entertain a motion to approve our agenda for tonight.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr.
Second
Simlick.
that.
Thank you, Mr. Ribbeth. In discussion by administration, council, roll call.
Mr. Simmelink.
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Rippett.
Yes.
Mr. Crimebell.
Yes.
Mr. Lonzer.
Yes.
Mr. Sears.
Yes.
All right, our agenda has been approved. Minutes, everybody's had a chance to review the minutes of our last council meeting. Are there any additions or corrections? Hearing none, entertain a motion to approve.
I'll move.
All right, thank you, Mr. Simmons. Need a second?
I'll
Thank you, Mr. Granville. Any discussion by administration, council, roll call?
Mr. Simmelink.
Yes.
Mr. Crimebell.
Yes.
Mr. Lonzer.
Yes.
Mr. Rippett.
Yes.
Mr. Sears.
Yes.
All right, minutes have been approved. Correspondence, Ms. Cordray.
To council and administration from Mayor Day dated January 20th, 2026. This is an email titled Joseph Skinner appointed to the city's Civil Service Commission. To President Kemp from Law Director Fate dated January 23rd, 2026. This is an email titled, "Please assign to Mr. Rippeth's committee," with Resolution 1, 2026 and Resolution 2, 2026 as attachments. Mr. Kemp asked Mr. Rippeth to take both pieces of legislation into his committee. To Council and Administration from Assistant to the Service Director Jonalee Furnett dated January 23rd, 2026. This is an email titled 2026 ODOT Paving with documentation from ODOT's paving project in 2027 as the attachment. To Council and Administration from Assistant to the Service Director Jonalee Furnett dated January 23rd, 2026. This is an email titled Additional Information for PID 107531. To Council Clerk from Treasurer Campbell dated January 23rd, 2026. This is the Treasurer's Report for the month of December 2025. I forwarded the report to Council and Administration. To Council and Administration from Auditor Denham dated January 24th, 2026. This is an email titled December 2025 Revenue Report. To Council and Administration from Auditor Denham dated January 29th, 2026. This is an email titled Financial Reports. It was replied to by Mrs. Ramos. And to Council and Administration from Mayor Day dated January 29th, 2026, the Mayor's Report. And that concludes correspondence for this evening, Mr. President.
All right, thank you, Ms. Courtwright. We're moving to our administrative reports. First up, Mayor Day.
Thank you, Mr. President, council members, fellow administrators, and guests. Much of what I reported to you and sent to you earlier today was weather-related. But again, I want to really give a shout out to the city snow removal crews for the job they did plowing our streets and alleys in the aftermath of the winter storm, the biggest winter storm to hit town in at least a decade.
Thank you.
So please join me in thanking them and their continued commitment to keep traffic flowing and businesses open. And the same goes for our safety forces too. You know, they have enough to worry about, but when they have to worry about answering calls in this kind of weather, it's pretty tough. So at every opportunity you have, thank them all and encourage them because they do a heck of a job for us. As I mentioned, the trash and recycling pickups in the city are a day behind now because the landfill was closed on Monday. And if you know someone or yourself needs to get out of the cold, there are warming centers downtown at the Friends of the Homeless Shelter and during the day at the Tuscarawas County Convention and Visitors Bureau. Those are both on East High Avenue. And as the clerk mentioned, I appointed retired police captain Joe Skinner to be the member of the Civil Service Commission. He fills the unexpired term of Safety Director Mulligan, who became Safety Director and had to lead the commission. So Joe's taking his place and he'll do a great job. And also, during the Planning Commission meeting last week, officers were elected. Joe McCartney is chairman of the commission, Kelly Watson, vice chairman. Jamie Bailey was appointed as the commission secretary. And also, the members discussed, then approved, starting the process to annex up to 12 parcels of city-owned railroad right-of-way to the village limits of Roswell. Those parcels will be used to create a walking and biking trail. We've already started that. And also for extension of city water and sewer lines for future development along State Route 39 East. So that concludes my report. Any questions?
Any questions of the mayor?
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Next up, Service Director, Mr. McAbeer.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, everyone. Naturally, we had talked before about the restroom down to south side in the pavilion. They have literally had, you know, just because of the weather and everything, haven't done anything. On the quadrants, same thing. They didn't work at all this week so far. I don't look for them to work tomorrow. I talked with the foreman on Wednesday. He didn't think it would happen this week either. Gonna have to dig out the snow and maybe go to work next week. He said it may even be middle of next week because it's supposed to heat up a little bit and maybe get rid of some of that snow. So I just want to give a quick update on that. And then like getting through the snow event we had, General Services got the first call Sunday morning, it was 1:30, if I remember correctly. At that time, we had all went out, and then, for all the general services as far as, vehicles that we have that, are able to be on the road. As we know, we're still waiting on the one that had burned up. We're working through that process with the, insurance company and trying to get that back on the road, as soon as we can. As soon as that can happen, we will. And then I believe, most of you know, or maybe some of you know, that everybody goes out now, especially on a snow event like that. So a big shout out to the park department. You know, they have their 2 trucks, they're always out with us. Cemetery has 2 trucks. They got certain routes they gotta do. The water department has 1 truck, and then wastewater department has 1 truck. You could really tell, biggest part of Sunday, chasing our tail, what else to say. You know, it hurts bringing down 3 trucks. You know, you got guys that you put in some trucks, and you can't, no trucks to put them in. So, I'm gonna guess that cost us 8 to 12 hours probably on the cleanup process during that time. We got out of there, or they got out of there Sunday around 11, and then came back in Monday morning, at 5 o'clock and started again, and then worked all that day till, 5 o'clock that evening. Water department, as they always do, come up and haul out of downtown. They did that on, Sunday night, Monday morning, got all downtown. Most I've seen downtown for a long time, so it took them quite a bit. If you ever was up there to see the piles, just so everybody knows, I guess, good to see you guys here today tonight too, because, water department's coming in, they're gonna give us some time to clear out of here. And they're doing City Hall, between municipal court, and then our city parking lot tonight. And then we'll salt everything too. I got Ray, has a guy coming in tomorrow morning, bright and early, and then that guy's gonna leave early and just come in an hour early, and then leave an hour early tomorrow. But he'll salt everything, because we gotta get it hauled out of here also. They dug out, the PD, dug out, the fire department, and, went around on a few different areas to do some mailboxes, and then I was told tonight we have some more to do, so we'll continue to do that also. But again, tonight they'll clean up City Hall, municipal court, and then also the back parking lot. Speaking of leaks, did have our first one in this cold snap this morning, or this afternoon. Luckily it was just an old, stub, I guess you'd say, that was off the main, that was going to, say that, it was supposed to go to that house right there, but it never went there. So they got lucky, was able to get down on the main, turn the hub off, and it shut down, versus a whole, you know, piece of pipe and everything. But, again, they do a great job, and everybody did a fantastic job in the snow, in that snow event we had, especially with the, shortage of vehicles and everything we have. So I think they did a fabulous job.
We had a leak here too.
Oh, yeah, in the ceiling, a ball valve, right at the ball valve,
Right
sprung a
outside the
leak.
door here.
And, it was kinda nice because Jeff was calling people, and I just happened to know Flick, and from Flickinger Pipe, and I called him and said, hey man, so he came in, Monday for us, put a temporary patch on it, and then fixed it, the next day for us, for the permanent patch. But he wasn't getting no answers, and I'm like, man, I'll call him, so I texted him, answer your phone, that's what I said, how's that? And he did. So anyways, he did come in and he helped us out. But any questions?
You're right, I mean, everybody doing a great job. I mean,
Not so much a question, Mr. Service Director, but just a comment on what an outstanding job them guys did. And then I got to see it even more firsthand, because my wife cooked up some cookies, and I brought them down to them Wednesday to thank them. And I got to see some of that equipment, man, and it's a shock, and I invite you guys all to go look at what they're working with, and what they were able to accomplish with that. It's pretty incredible.
Well, thank you.
Real quick. It's been a crazy winter. How's our salt?
We're good.
I know
Yeah,
you
we're-
always prepare, but this is even worse than normal, so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but we're, I seen one time when just I was in the street department, I'm like, it was enough to probably fit where Marvin's sitting.
I know you always say that, but like I said, this winter's a,
But what I'm saying is, like
Crazy.
last year, I got a point that I know where I'm at now, so I make a point to stop right there. So what we used, and it was about 10% more than even what we used last year, so then we'll just have to restock that again this
Gotcha.
following year, plus 10% is typically what I do. Yeah. Because there is a surrounding city around here that doesn't have any right now.
I've told you this personally, but I want to say it publicly, how much I appreciate, I'm always in awe of the way these roads are cleaned. And having grown up here and having gone to school I did my undergrad in law school in Cleveland. I was really well taken care of in both places, and I didn't realize how spoiled I was until I lived in Columbus. I chose my apartment because I was 15 minutes from the Rafe Center where I worked, and if it snowed even a little bit, it took an hour to 2 hours to get to work, because they had no clue what to do with their snow removal. So as far as I'm concerned, Philly's on par with Cleveland every bit in terms of what a great job of snow removal. And I'm always curious, I see a huge storm come like this, I'm always curious to see what you guys have done, and I'm always amazed that the roads are clear.
And just so everyone knows, we knew it was coming, so we had a meeting with everybody right here, and everybody's giving their input, and then kind of getting our shifts of the way we want to do it, because some of the guys want to get out of there, some guys are tired, and I understand that, so we just try to gauge our shifts with that, but we did have a superintendent's meeting before that, on that week.
Great
Wednesday
job.
beforehand. Yep, and I'll make sure I pass that along, Marvin, thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. McAbey. Safety Director, Mr. Milligan.
Thank you, Mr. President, council members, colleagues, guests. Excited this evening to present two different incidents that occurred within this city that I think highlights the professionalism, the heroism, the quality of people we have working in our safety forces. And I'm going to at a high level share about these incidents, and I do plan on bringing these firefighter, paramedics, and police officers into council to present them for accommodation for the work that they have done. So our New Philadelphia Fire Department was recognized last week, or maybe this week, if the date's wrong, by the Cleveland Clinic organization. They were awarded what they call Call of the Year for their life-saving measures they took on a call that occurred on Interstate 77 at the 250 split back in August. Very difficult situation with a gentleman changing his tire who was struck by a vehicle and who sustained significant trauma. And the immediate life-saving decisions that crew took at that time directly led to the positive impact of his recovery. And so the Cleveland Clinic reviewed that call and recognized that for our region in the state of Ohio for the outstanding care that they provided under a very duress situation. So, bias, right? I worked there for a few years, and I always think we have the highest quality paramedics and firefighters. I still think that, and that's really not a biased opinion. That's from knowing of other organizations around us. I think we have the best in the area. And so I look forward to bringing them into council, presenting them for accommodation, and recognizing them. They're also now being nominated for the Star Life Award, which is a state award for the same call and the life-saving measures they provided. So I'm going to allow them to speak to the details of the services they provide, because it's their actions that directly led to this, but just proud to acknowledge that they were acknowledged by the Cleveland Clinic and now up for consideration for a state award for the service they provided on a very difficult situation. The second incident I'm going to talk about is, some of you may know, got some regional attention with the apprehension of Mr. Ritter here in the city of New Philadelphia. That whole thing could have turned out very differently, and I couldn't think of a better snippet of body camera footage to share with this community that highlighted the professionalism of our officers. The fact that they could react the way they did with the restraint they did, given that they were entitled by the statute of law to probably discharge lethal force, but didn't because of safety reasons of the other officers involved and the bystanders to be able to make that decision in 0.3 of a second. I think a lot of people who've not been in that role don't really understand the discipline that takes. And so I could not be prouder of those 4 officers and how they handled that situation, and just the leadership of Chief Bahovey. And as I stated in my public statement, why that got a lot of attention regionally, and people got to see the heroism, that really highlights all of our officers and the discipline and the professionalism in which they treat our citizens in the way they carry out their duties here in the city to protect us. So I will also be bringing those officers in. I just think, could not be prouder of the work that the leadership of Chief Bahovey, the 4 officers involved. I also plan to bring them in and present them to council also for the work they did in that situation. I want to thank the prosecutor who responded immediately and quickly, worked hand in hand with us, and was able to get a very quick decision and commitment to release that body footage for transparency purposes. And so I really appreciate his partnership. And I also appreciate the seriousness he took the event. Protecting our police officers is something I take very seriously in all of our safety forces, and to see those type of incidents occur and know they will not be tolerated, in our community. I appreciate Mr. Steyer prosecuting to the fullest of the law with his ability to do so. So I appreciate their partnership in that, his quick response, and appreciate all that reached out. The Sheriff's Department, the City of Dover, who reached out during that incident to provide support to us, and I appreciate that. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Any questions? Again, you're right there. Safety forces do a tremendous job, so.
All right, thank you.
All right, move on to auditor's report. Mrs. Denham.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to read most of mine because I have to scroll right now. So, first of all, I sent an email out to the council and administration earlier today in response to the emails that I've received over the last couple of days and the conversations that I've had with a few departments this week. I can see that there's still some confusion about the differences between the revenue budgets, the expense budgets, and our cash availability. So without seeing the full picture and comparing all three, it's hard to understand or explain the budget. So we all need to understand the numbers that we're looking at in order to get through this season. So tomorrow is our last day of the month, and once I receive the departmental revenue reports next week, we will distribute the January month-end reports, and then I would like to offer a class to the council and administration or some type of instruction to refresh their memory or to learn how to read or interpret the reports that we send out monthly. And once we have a general understanding of how to understand those reports, I'd be happy to go over the 2025 final numbers and the month-to-month budgets going forward when we send those out each month. And so that's all I have to say about the 2026 budget. We're not going to talk about that today. But first I want to say a special thank you to my payroll manager, Debbie, and my assistant, Danielle, for pulling me through these trying times the past year as appointed auditor. All three of us are new in our positions. I don't know if anybody's aware of that, but all three of us are brand new in our positions. So we're all trying to learn this together and as we go. And I want to take this opportunity to provide some context for my decision to run for this office and the reason why I haven't abandoned it yet. I've lived most of my life in New Philly, and several generations of my family and I have attended Lifeway Church here in New Philadelphia, and all of my schooling has been in New Philadelphia. Despite having the best mom ever, I was mixed up with the wrong crowd, and I became pregnant with my son my junior year of high school. And the staff at our high school was incredibly supportive and worked to accommodate my schedule to make sure that I graduated. Many of our current teachers at school now continue to go above and beyond for their students, and I genuinely hope that everyone considers supporting our schools. After graduating from high school, I pursued a major in accounting. Unfortunately, I did not complete that degree. As a single mom, I relied on financial assistance from Job and Family Services. Until I secured a job, the program assigned me to clean City Hall, and later Tuscarawas County Council for Church and Community to earn those benefits. Barb Lauer was the director of T4C at that time. I don't know if anybody knows her, but she's an amazing woman. And she took me under her wing and promptly started working all of my hours at T4C. And soon she transitioned me to primarily work in the office and reduce my cleaning responsibilities. She was an exceptional mentor who treated me with the utmost respect despite the reason why I was there. And she played a significant role in our community and recommended that I apply for a position with the city, which I successfully obtained. And that was almost 30 years ago. Our area is home to numerous agencies and dedicated individuals who are willing to guide you through challenging times if you demonstrate a willingness to put in the effort. If you're currently facing difficulties, please reach out to these various agencies, other communities, and churches for support. My first 12 years of working for the city was spent in the income tax department. The first 5 years was spent in the lower floor of the municipal building, which is in now very poor shape and needs major repairs. Probably to the point where it's not even worth repairing, but we continue to pour money with these repairs. But anyways, as the auditor, I now oversee the income tax department and I'm grateful for that learning experience. I spent the next 14 years in the water department as the water clerk, and then secretary to the superintendent, and then office manager. Again, I gained valuable experience and knowledge of the day-to-day operations throughout the water department. During my time as office manager, we navigated the challenges of COVID. There was a sense of uncertainty, fear, and what felt like a quiet chaos. However, we were fortunate to have our own health department. They emerged as the unsung heroes dedicated to the well-being of the city of New Philadelphia, its residents, and its businesses. When patients couldn't visit their offices, our health department went above and beyond to provide care. They spent countless days at Tuscola Park serving the community with unwavering dedication. They approached the work not as a mere job or duty, but as a privilege to contribute to their community. We are incredibly fortunate to have them in our city, especially during the crises. Their services are invaluable, yet they remain remarkably frugal with their budget. Their proven value speaks volumes, so let's stop seeking validation and allow them to continue their work in caring for our community. I have been in the auditor's office since 2022. I could spend some time going over cost-saving procedures that have been implemented and also increased efficiency without spending extra money to achieve these goals. I could also talk about the financial situation that I walked into as auditor. Do not blame this on the former auditor. She could only do so much, and most of it was out of her hands. But I do want to talk about the goals I started with that got lost somewhere in the past year, but I want to pick them back up. At one point early on, I was having conversations with Chief Ahovey about getting more mental health support to ride along with our police officers during their shifts and into the fire stations. I had conversations with HR to utilize our health department for city wellness programs that were discontinued by our former insurance carrier. I had hoped this would help result in reduced insurance costs and sick leave taken. The former and new health commissioner both have stated that they are willing to become certified to do our yearly mandatory drug and safety training. Not only would this save the city money on the cost of hiring outside agencies, but our health department could bring in additional revenue by giving classes to other businesses. This knowledge would also help in their day-to-day operations. Now more than ever, we need to build up our health department, our police department, and our fire department. I would like to see our fire department's care coordinator position turned into a full-time pay position, as she's already working full-time with a part-time pay. They are fighting the drug addiction and the mental illness with very little support. We have a homeless shelter that will be opening many additional spaces directly across the street, and we need to start planning very quickly for what is to come. Remember when we used to say during COVID that we're all in this together? I know that there are many area agencies and churches that are already working to help the community. We now have Michelle Campbell on our team with her close connections to the county sheriff and his work with the community. I know that our health department, police department, and fire department are already heavily involved We need to make better financial decisions to give them the resources they need to be effective. More tax dollars should be used for the community support and city services. As the service director stated, we are down trucks that were needed for plowing and the safety of our residents. We need to pause on the projects that are not necessary and work on our infrastructure and our buildings and our vehicles, etc. And as the departments are revisiting their permanent budget, they should ask if what they need is more important than the health and safety of our citizens. There have been several financial decisions that I've opposed this year, but I look forward to spending this term working with the council and administration to make better financial decisions for our city. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Any questions for the auditor? All right, thank you, Mr. Denham.
I do have a question.
Okay,
So
Mr.
just-
Granville, yes.
Just so we can kind of think ahead, because we have till the end of March, and I know you were finishing up year-end stuff. When would you think we would start to like maybe dig into the permanent budget? Like, what's your date?
Well, we need to have it done by the end of March.
I know, that's what I mean, and so I'm just thinking like,
There
when
are
do you think?
conversations throughout the year where we talked about that, where we needed to cut expenses or find additional revenue. It seems that the additional revenue that we were looking at is no longer options. So we have to go back to reducing expenses. I've reduced expenses as much as I can in my department. I've reduced expenses in the treasurer's office. I've asked the other departments to look at their budgets to see where they can reduce expenses. So that's where we're at. What can they reduce to fit within the revenue that we're going to receive, or that we estimate to receive?
Are you getting responses?
No.
Like,
Well, no, not on a new budget,
okay.
no,
Do you try
not
to
on a revised budget.
Yes.
excuse me, do you try to schedule appointments individually with each department head?
We just finished year end on the 12th. And so trying to catch up and trying to work on my own situation in our office. I have not really reached out to many. I've had conversations with this group. I've had conversations with sewer department, general services. But I have not approached them. I've let the mayor and service director and safety director know last year that expenses need to be cut. So, yes, we do have need another meeting to see what they were able to reduce.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I got one.
Yes.
Is there any projects that I got going on that, when you say projects,
We have Roswell Trail, we have Southside Park,
Southside Park, what do you got down there?
the pavilion.
That's all grant money, you mean?
That's not all grant money.
Yes, it is.
How much was the Gorcon bid?
181.
That's not the bid I saw.
What'd you see then? Why'd you ask me what it was?
Well, 299, I believe it was, and then
No,
a
it was not.
contingency.
No,
Those were the numbers I saw.
It's not,
But
you got
this
some
goes
bad
back
numbers
to-
then.
Let's-
You got some bad numbers then.
You
I
need to
did,
have more
yeah.
conversations with the service director.
Yeah.
I have had
It was
quite a few conversations throughout my
189.
whole, excuse me?
189, I believe, was the bid package.
Yeah, if you wanna know about projects.
Yeah, that's all
I-
100% funded.
With all due respect, as soon as I started this position, I asked to be included in these discussions. I asked to be included before it actually became a project. I have not once been included in any of the discussions. I was in your office with Mr. McAbeer, with his secretary, with my assistants, to go over what we need, to let you know what we need for these projects, because we have to report these on our financial statements. And several times I've heard, oh yeah, we'll let you know. And then nobody lets me know until I'm ready to print out my agenda. That's when I see the ordinances, and that's when I see what projects are going
I
on.
apologize, I'll do better with that. I'll have John Lee start making sure that I just thought that that's what she was doing, so I apologize.
Now, unfortunately, when I've asked Donnelly, she is left out of the loop too.
Okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll fix that.
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks for bringing it to light.
Yeah.
All right, any other questions? All right, we want to treasurer's report.
Can I ask one question?
Oh, yes.
Just reference to the end of year 2025 financials. I know there's been emails, don't know what those emails are. Can we, do you have finalized projections of where we, you know, the?
Not with me tonight.
The reports that were issued a couple, I think, days ago, are those, I guess, true and accurate reports that we can manage and reflect and operate from?
Which reports we sent?
You sent out an expense report and a revenue report that
For
showed
the year
fiscal,
end?
yeah.
Those are the absolute numbers. That was our year-end totals.
Is that the one stated 1/12,
Yeah.
I believe?
That's when we finished year-end.
They're dated 1/12.
I don't know if it's appropriate, can we request an executive session to further discuss financial details? I don't know the proper order of that.
We were gonna go, we were missing 2 council members, so we'd rather do it when we have full council
Fair enough,
Here.
Mr. President.
to have that discussion.
Just to clarify, we can have executive session for purposes of discussing personnel and cuts of that nature. But I don't, we can't just have a general discussion on the budget and
Right.
finances.
Correct. So, if everybody's gonna be at the next council meeting, we can have an executive session to talk about personnel and stuff.
Right.
All right.
But numbers you have to do in this setting. You can't, because I think you were asking numbers, weren't you, Kevin?
I think she answered the question, if the statements that were provided 2 days ago are true and accurate reflection of the budgets, I certainly I have questions that I will take up with the auditor, just for clarification purposes.
And that's why I'd be happy to have a class to explain how to read all of these reports, so that when we come into council, we know exactly what we're looking at and everybody understands.
I
And we
think
can
that's
all
a
get
good
it done at
idea.
once and not carry it on.
All right. Now, treasurer, Mrs. Campbell.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, let me thank you for your years of service to the city, and everything that you're doing. If there's anything that I can do to help, I will support you however I can. If I can be a middle person that maybe can meet with the departments individually and try to come up with a proposal to kind of talk through it, I'll be glad to do that too. So the treasurer's report for the month of December, beginning cash balances for the general fund and payroll fund was $5,220,000. The investment portfolio had $7.2 million. Total cash position December 1st was $12,430,000. Total receipts during December was $1,385,397. Total disbursements were $980,264, giving an ending cash balance in the accounts with the general and payroll fund combined was $5,253,261. The investment funds were $7,234,134, giving us a total cash position as of 12/31 of $12,487,000. Our total interest income earned during December was $26,501.40. I don't have any unusual variances or anything to report. I will say that we did have Ray do the final December reconciliation. I was having a hard time coming up with the same numbers, but as of this evening, I'm pretty confident, and by me doing that, we'll save, what, 30,000?
About 22,
At least,
well, it'd be
yeah.
more.
20 plus.
So we'll save that immediately on an annual basis. And then I also met with Meter Financial Advisors, who is the Gabe, sorry. I met with Gabe. We'll do a quarterly review of our investment portfolio. He gave me a nice report. If you guys want to see that, it shows the duration and what our yields are and the time buckets of when everything's maturing. what our projected interest income is over the next 5 years. We did talk a little bit about changing, and I didn't want to make any of these changes without at least presenting to council. He is asking that we replace the money market account that is listed in the portfolio under First American Government with a balance of $22,000, with an annual estimated income of $809. Meter now has their own cash money market account, and by just letting them switch it, they can't just do it, they have to ask for permission. By doing that, it would allow us to reduce some of the fees that we're currently paying, and we can get a higher yield overall, so.
Good.
Looking to switch that. Even better news, I sent my friend Chris, who is a loan officer at First Fed, an email asking for some competitive rates on our money market account. He got me to the right person. We're currently paying our money market account 0.55% on 3.8 million. And as of tomorrow, unless anybody objects, as of tomorrow, they will put us on a variable rate that will follow the IORB, which can only change 8 times a year based on what the Fed's doing, but we will be earning 3.5% on 3.8 million, so like 500% more
That's,
interest.
yeah, that's substantial.
It's like 90 grand. 3 million.
So those are the 2 significant changes that I am hoping to make tomorrow. And then the only other note that I have was, I think I was reading through some of the prior audits, and we talked briefly about the book balances. Are we able to adjust those? And then like I can post entries moving forward so it all aligns, or?
I did not see what the final number was. She
Okay.
sent that yesterday, today?
I'm not sure what you would be looking for. I'm just saying as of 1/1/26, like the accounts are flip-flopped. So I was hoping we could make an entry to just make them true.
I know, okay, I see, I know what you're talking about, I thought you meant, okay, where we're out of balance.
Yeah.
On our bank to book.
Yep, and if you want me to make the monthly entries based on the reconciliation, I can do that, but I think that would be a big change to what our reporting is. I think there was a finding in the past.
It wasn't regarding that.
Okay.
The finding was because our books did not match what was in the bank at all. And that was my whole issue at the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025, why I didn't want to start union negotiations, because while we knew how much was in the bank, we didn't know who it belonged to because the books were off.
I think that's all I have. Do we have any questions?
Questions?
I just want to make a comment, thank you, because like, as a numbers person, I appreciate everything you've done in like your first, I mean, you did it in weeks.
26
and,
days.
It's been amazing to see, and I just appreciate you looking into everything to try to do what's best for the city.
Yeah, and I'd say I'll be willing to put whatever time in I need to help you, and like I say, if I can be a middle person and
Yep.
I'll do whatever I need to do.
In the interest of time, I would just say ditto to what Chris said.
Michelle,
All right, thank you,
Michelle, I
Mr.
have
Cameron.
one. Was it the GIDP that they said to close the 20,000?
No, it's within the investment portfolio, it's not the star.
Okay.
It's not that one.
All right.
All right, next up, the law director, Mr. Fate.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have spent, feels like a month, and it's almost a daily basis, working on an issue involving the city that I believe is probably gonna end up in litigation. I was planning to have an executive session this evening on that, and I chose to wait until the next time because I thought we were having a personnel executive session, executive meeting tonight, just in the interest of time. But I will likely be asking for additional time at the next meeting to meet the council on something that is threatened or pending litigation.
Okay. All right, we'll end our board and commission reports. Planning Commission, Mayor Day.
Yes, February 10th is when the planning commission will meet again. Thank you, Ron. And we'll continue a discussion about annexation, and also whether we, now that the deed restrictions have been lifted on some parcels that we own along Commercial Avenue. We have to make a final decision on which ones we want to auction, which ones we just want to hang on to for a while. So just how we're gonna finalize, the usage of that property.
All right,
That'll be at 1 o'clock.
all right, Board of Zoning Appeals, Mr. McAveer.
Thank you, Mr. President. Board of Zoning Appeals meet February 10th at 5 PM here in council chambers to elect our chair and secretary and that. So we will be meeting in February to do that.
All right. Airport Commissioner, Mr. Alonso.
Thank you, Mr. President. The airport met January 13th, and most of the conversation revolved around our planning of the new hangar. And we're pretty much 100% now on a design process, and now it's just kind of fingers crossed to see if we can get those grants to help pay for this thing, so we don't have a big bill for it. The next time we'll be meeting is February 10th, 6 PM at the Harry Cleaver Field Airport Meeting Room.
All right, thank you. Park Board, Mr. Sears.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report tonight. Hope to have one next meeting.
All right, thank you. Health Board, Mr. Simmerlink.
Thank you, Mr. President. We're pleased to have Mrs. Bosch, our Health Commissioner, here tonight. It's always welcome in our meetings. Especially, they're pretty busy down there dealing with respiratory illnesses and a little kick up with COVID and some other things. So they're pretty busy these days. Next Health Board meeting is February 11th at noon. Anything you care to say while you're here tonight, Nicole?
We did have a new tire grant that we just received, $2,500 came in. That is new this year. We are on the tail end of the worst flu season we've had in probably the last 5 years. I think we're on the bottom side of that bell curve for hospitalized flu at this point. We just finished up our communicable disease report for 2025. I will be happy to present that to council here in the coming weeks once board has approved it. And finally, food licenses are going out in the next week for all of our restaurant and food handling. So we'll be taking care of that. We just completed all of our tattoo licenses.
Thank you. Any questions?
Any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Council Committee Reports, Finance, Mr. Rippeth.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Finance Committee met at 6:45 this evening here in council chambers. Two matters of business before the committee was Resolution 1, 2026, and Resolution 2, 2026, both of which dealt with grants being received by the fire department. We've placed those two issues on tonight's agenda for a first reading. We would hope that maybe upon second reading, if we have enough people here, we can suspend the rules and get that passed so that the fire department can accept those grants. We adjourned at about, I forget what time it was, 6:47.
All right, thank you, Mr. Rippeth. Public Works and Economic Development, Mr. Alonso.
Thank you, Mr. President. Public Works and Economic Development Committee met at 7 PM, and we had two items we discussed. The first was proposed ordinance 30, 2025, and this is in regards to the ODOT paving projects. We voted unanimously to move that on for, add that to tonight's agenda for first reading. And we also talked about proposed ordinance 1, 2026, which is basically the material bids. And we, so the service director can pretty much buy everything we need for the year, as far as all the equipment and supplies. And we voted unanimously also to add that to tonight's agenda, and it's going to be held for a first reading tonight.
All right, thank you, Mr. Alonso. Safety, Health, and Service, Mr. Simmerlink.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report tonight.
All right, next would be Salary, Mr. Granville.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report.
All right, Cemetery, Mr. Sears.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report.
All right, Contact and Special, Mike is not here, so Mr. Simmerlink.
Our contacts, special contact committee met tonight. and received an application for Beers and Birdies, who's applied for a D1 license, a beer license for an operation that they're opening up on just West High Avenue, where the menswear store was, I believe, right?
Yes.
And we have a request from the Department of Commerce. Do we want a hearing on this fact, on this? I think we can take a voice vote, I believe.
Yes.
And what we want is a no vote means we don't need a hearing. So,
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Yes,
Yes.
yes means we don't want a hearing.
pardon me?
Yes means we do not want a
Yeah,
hearing.
yes means no.
Yes means no.
Yes means we don't want a hearing.
Right.
Yes.
So the clerk will do a voice.
So, yes,
He's just trying to
roll call.
Okay. Mr. Kreinville,
Yes.
Mr. Lanzer,
Yes.
Mr. Rippon.
Yes.
Mr. Sears,
Yes.
Mr. Simulink.
Yes.
All right,
We
yes
got that
means
right.
no.
And Mr. President, just for
That's
the
it.
folks who are watching at home, that is where Modern Menswear was located, and there'll be golf simulators there.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the business.
Any
And beer.
beer?
And beer.
Do you happen to know, do they have a goal date of opening?
No, I don't, Councilman. We can try to find out for you. Yeah.
It's good, all right, thank you, Mayor Day. All right, now the floor is open for visitors' comments. Do any visitors tonight want to make comments? You three of them.
Mr. President, if I would, Judge and Judy, I mean, since you're here, anything on the court that the council should hear about?
Well.
Not to
we were
put you
here
on the
because-
spot.
Yeah, we were here because you had asked us in case there was any questions about
Right.
the budget or building issues or things of that nature. I don't really have anything to report other than, you know, last year Judy did the presentation on the building.
How we got
Building's
the
still the
better?
same.
Or
Yeah.
worse.
Or
Yeah.
worse.
But, you know, we continue to have, I don't know if anybody's aware, but we continue to have always had since I was first elected, monthly budget meetings in the court where we go over all of our revenues, all of our expenses, all of our grants and so forth. And if anyone would ever have any interest in partaking in that, I guess they're not technically public meetings, but we certainly would be willing to have open conversation. I know Mr. Kreinville came and met with Judy and I and Julie last week, and we, you know, the transparency and the conversations are the key, I think.
Yes.
And so, just want to extend that. If anybody wants to see what the building is like, you're always welcome. We'll give you a little tour. But I don't really, you know, other than, basically, we're a mental health court now. I think somebody was talking about the health department.
Yeah.
What I do now is mental health treatment and methamphetamine drug treatment. That's basically the large part of what the court does. I mean, obviously, we still do traffic tickets and so forth, but policing has changed a lot,
Yeah.
particularly since COVID. And I think we're all aware, the fire department sees it, the police department, everybody's kind of, we're all in the same boat, all in it together, like Heather said, so.
Your Honor, if we come to visit you, do we have to bring our own hard hats, or do you provide those?
That's an assumption of the risk.
You lawyers.
That's a good living term.
Yeah, the biggest problem we have is the first floor of the
Yes.
floor.
Yeah, that
I
floor.
think the ceilings are pretty well stable. Well, we'll see what happens with all that stuff.
Yeah.
What happens with that, but, mainly the floor on the first floor is just what has us kind of flummoxed,
Right.
you know? We just keep
Patchworking.
putting things over.
Yeah.
We had a significant leak in courtroom 2 yesterday. I want to give a shout out to Jeff Evans, who was summoned to say, look at the ice on the outside, well, now that's dripping on the inside. So he communicated with Ron, they were able to get some of the ice chunks off, put up caution tape so nobody was gonna have it fall on them. Lacey had to move her car so her vehicle wasn't damaged by any ice potentially falling off. A couple months ago, we had significant rainfall in the probation department windowsill. Again, I summoned Jeff. He's communicated, or getting quotes from masons about the ability of the bowing wall. This is on the fire station side of, on First Street, Second Street, I apologize, where the wall of the building actually might be bowing, so, we'll keep you updated.
Thanks for all you do.
Since we're talking about the buildings, what is the plan? Because we can't continue to, their fixes are not just little fixes, they're not just 10,000, they're hundreds of thousands of dollars for the fixes that they need to, they're significant, and it's not going to make it probably last any longer. I don't know that the fixes that you are asking for, like the floors, and, I mean, you just had floors redone within the last,
Yeah, that was a little bit of a contracting disaster, those floors. We thought we were doing the right thing, and it turned out to be just about the wrongest thing that could have been done. That's what I'm told now. And
That was done in,
2020 hindsight.
that was done in 2013.
oh, that long ago, okay. I thought somebody said it was more
And
recent.
the material that was supposed to seal the worn out asbestos tile in place, it was supposed to have epoxy type of a, cement and epoxy type of a situation. It was supposed to be self-leveling, it was supposed to seal everything in, and it has not held up because I think the floors were probably, I don't think it was an appropriate application. We were told it was, but, and it wasn't anybody here, but we were told by the contractors. So, I don't know what we're gonna do about that floor.
So at what point do you call it quits on that building, or are we just gonna keep continuing to dump?
Well, you.
Well, we don't even have the money to dump
Yeah,
into the building,
exactly.
unfortunately, so
Yeah,
they're just,
I mean,
it's
you're
coming
looking at,
down on
you're
them.
looking at a substantial bond issue, millions of dollars. Ideally, we'd like to build a municipal justice center here, which would mean demolition of buildings, acquiring properties around us. But again, that's a substantial, and you'll have to go to the voters
Yeah,
in order to raise that kind of money.
And
So,
I
I mean,
think
you're,
the situation is not unique.
Auditor Denham, you're right on. You're inside my head. I'm thinking the same thing. But when we have to build the case to go to the voters to convince them that, this is necessary. So sometimes that takes time, and there are other schools, for instance, that are attempting to ask voters for more money. So it's a timing thing.
Right.
And so we'll do the best we can, but that day's coming.
Unfortunately, we ran out of time, and their building not gonna last much longer. They need safety forces, and that was brought up, we should get a bond for
Right.
safety forces. Our parks, our
Parks,
Tuscarora Park is falling apart while we're working on the South Side Park. And
well,
somebody's,
Tuscarora
you
Park's
know, we
not
said-
falling apart.
Well, they need
but our
roofs
park
on the
system-
pavilions and,
Our park
yeah.
system is growing, yeah.
Yeah, but our pavilion roofs, I've been told, need repaired and replaced, and our bathrooms
Well,
need
the
replaced.
Tuscarora Park Foundation is on that mission right now.
Oh, I don't know how much longer we can rely on them to fix our.
Why don't you attend a foundation meeting, and that may
Well, I
change
have
your mind.
talked, I have talked to some on foundations
Mhm.
meeting, so, but, or the RTY, but anyways, I know they're not for this, but this building has plenty of room for everybody to be in here until we figure out what we can do, because I have this whole wing, 5 offices for 3 of us, and I have our department to the spot where all we need is our laptop. We don't need any other equipment. We don't even need to work in this building. We're to the point where we're going paperless, other than 5 people need checks.
Right.
They won't go on the
Well,
direct deposit.
Yeah.
But we're to the point where we can combine into 2, maybe 3 of those offices over there. We've got that whole wing. Income tax doesn't need their, technology has changed, so we're no longer needing files in this building anyways.
Mhm.
But we're to the
But
point where the whole
It's
city
still a
hall.
public office. The public needs to come here
Yes,
if they need to do
Yes.
business with us.
and we are still
We
here,
can't
but my
have people
point was,
sitting at home on laptops.
no, and that, no, that I
But I
realize.
will tell you what's been going through my mind for a couple of years now, is to, move this up to the third floor and bring the service department down here. So that we have all of our, all the businesses and permitting and the health department on one floor.
We can all fit, all city services could fit on this one floor, and municipal court could have that whole front part of the building. It may not be laid out to what exactly they need, but there is plenty of room to do that because of the way we have changed,
Well,
the way we operate.
Yeah, we'll have the conversation. Yeah, but I like the fact that you're
Yeah.
thinking along those lines.
It needs to happen real quick. It's like,
Well, it's
if
not
they
gonna
had
happen.
to
Heather
leave,
did mention this, I just, I like, feel like that I just, like, what did I just do by talking about the building? But,
no, it's gonna come
you
out.
had mentioned that to us before, and, you know, we didn't come here because of building. We did our presentation last year.
Yeah.
To make you guys aware that we know what the budget situation is, that we know what kind of money we were asking, that we had to put in and that we were asking from you. So we knew it was gonna be a wait, and, you know, I think we're functioning well over there. It's just the very heavy traffic part of the lobby. You know, we have to be careful. We don't want
Right.
people tripping and falling and stuff. But other than that, you know, it's gonna, we're in the same boat as a lot of courts,
Yep.
a lot of municipalities. You know, I don't think we're much different than the county, than Dover. You know, you wanna have services for the public. You have to have a place for those, and sometimes your buildings get a lot of age on them. So, I mean, we're willing, we didn't come here, we came here because we were invited, and just to observe, and we didn't come here to reopen the building conversation. I consider that to be, we opened it last year, it remains open, we're open to all suggestions, but, you know, you guys got a lot on your plate. We're holding our own over there, we have the CLOX funds, when we need something, we pay for it with the CLOX funds a lot of times. We can't pay for, like, if something happens, a couple $100,000, that would clean out the fund overnight, but, so.
Well, that's where the problem lies. We don't have it at all to give to you if that happens. So that's where we're struggling. There is no savings for any building repairs.
But I think most of the discussion need to be in a finance committee meeting.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, we can talk all night here, but
that's right.
Amen.
when we get down to discuss our budget for '26, that's the time that we got a lot to talk about, all these issues. So, we're gonna move on to council comments. Any council members with comments?
I was
Yes,
just gonna,
Mr. Grimby.
you go ahead first.
No, you-
want? I just wanted to say something because, you know, in this meeting, I've heard a couple of different people, Heather, Ron, the judge, about transparency and communication. And I have used it, my job, for years and years and years, that communication is free. And once I got on council, I think I just told Michelle this yesterday, I added another step to it, communication is free and budget friendly. So just hearing, like, you know, because I did have a conversation with the judge, I went over and did it, I haven't done it in enough departments. Early on, I met with the health department, with the previous director, and Councilman Sears went with me. But that is so important to try to get behind and do that. And just the open communication, like I could tell between Heather and Ron, you know, talking about that communication, that is so important for this. And that's one thing that I think sometimes we do lack in council. We are a team, everybody sitting in here is a team. I was happy to see that every department is actually represented in here tonight. When the health department and the court came, you know, law director, Ron and the mayor represent everybody. Like, it was nice, Kevin's got to fire it. This is the first time, I think, when you've seen that, and I know we're hoping to have a more in-depth conversation potentially tonight. When we rescheduled, we unfortunately had 2 council members that couldn't come. And I encourage everybody, especially the administration, to keep those communications open. My phone is always open. I mean, judges called me, Michelle's called me, Kevin's called me, Heather's called me. I'm always here as a councilman, but I mean, I don't have to be involved with every conversation, but I just hope that you guys keep those lines open. It's very important for us to get through this. You know, with budget things, it's just gonna make us stronger. So that's all I wanted to say, just to remind everybody that communication is free and budget friendly. So, thank you.
All right,
Sounds like a
Mr. Simulake.
I wanted to note that this week, President Trump was in Iowa, and he was making note that John Deere is building a plant in the Carolinas, and they will therefore have an excavator product being made in America as soon as that plant's done. The fact of the matter is that the Great All Industries down here has been down there for 80 years. They're marking 80 years this year. And it has been the only excavator manufactured only in America. And it's been doing it for 80 years. And I'm really sorry to see that the president made that misstatement. To sort of, in reaction to that, I talked to the mayor about doing a proclamation perhaps and recognizing Great All on this 80th anniversary, and the fact that they are in fact manufacturing it's the only excavator in the world made only in America. Then in the meantime, we've reached out to a couple representatives in Congress. I'm sure that nobody in Washington is going to apologize, but maybe we can get a presidential proclamation for them in light of this 80th anniversary. I've mentioned it tonight to get it on the record, and I think this body should know about it, and I know you're interested in supporting our industries.
Definitely.
The second comment I want to make is it's awful good to see John Baker come back.
Yes, it is.
Although he's got a different employer, it's good, I'm an old news guy, you know. It's great to see the news show up, and I'm glad you're here, John.
Thanks.
Yes, John, you're always welcome. All right, any other comments? Move on to our legislative agenda.
Ordinance
Yes.
Ordinance number 30, 2025. The following ordinance is enacted by the City of New Philadelphia, Tuscarawas County, Ohio, hereinafter referred to as the Local Public Agency, LPA, in the matter of the stated described project. And whereas the state has identified the need for the described project being the removal of an average 2 1/4, 2.25 inches of the resurfacing with an average 2 1/4, 2.25 inches of asphaltic concrete on State Route 39 from Tuscarawas Avenue, SLM 13.89 to the East Corp limit, SLM 1542, State Route 259 from Reeser Avenue, SLM 1.21 to 21st Street, SLM 2.22, and State Route 800 from West High Avenue, SLM 19.16 to the North Corp limit of Enola Street, SLM 20.54. First reading.
Is there any action taken by council on this ordinance tonight? Hearing none, we have our next regular council meeting.
Ordinance number 1, 2026, an ordinance by the council of the City of New Philadelphia directing the service director to advertise for bids and to enter into contracts with the lowest and best bidder for the city's requirements of various materials and supplies for 2026 and declaring an emergency. First reading.
All right, and the action be taken by council on this ordinance tonight. Hearing none, we have our next regularly scheduled council meeting.
Resolution number 1, 2026, a resolution by the council of the City of New Philadelphia, Ohio, authorizing the fire chief to accept grant funds from the Reeves Foundation on behalf of the city in the amount of $68,539.30 to be deposited to fund number 420-4200-5-5200 for the purposes of rescue tools and accessories for the City of New Philadelphia Fire Department and declaring an emergency. First reading.
Is there any action taken by council on this resolution tonight? Hearing none, be held for our next regularly scheduled council meeting.
Resolution number 2, 2026, a resolution by the council of the city of New Philadelphia, Ohio, authorizing the fire chief to accept grant funds from the United Way on behalf of the city for the amount of $13,237.64 to be deposited to fund number 715-5100-5-1106 for the purposes of helping to fund the work of the fire department's community care coordinator and declaring an emergency. First reading.
All right, and the action will be taken by council on this resolution tonight. Hearing none, be held for the next regularly scheduled council meeting.
That concludes legislation for
All
this
right,
evening.
thank you, Ms. Courtwright. Any unfinished old business? Any new business for tonight? Hearing none, entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Mr. President.
All right, it's
8:40.
8:40. We
Hey,
are
everybody, I've
adjourned.
got tickets to the Intact Pancake